Hey guys, it's Jonathan Ritchie here, and I'm picking up with kind of going through some artifacts showing really the sordid history of the Democratic Party in American politics and how oftentimes they were really the proponents of racist policies and really of slavery. But what I have here is a Republican political ad talking about why I will not vote the Democratic ticket. And it's fascinating because it goes through step by step what policies that the Democrat Party pushed for. And I want to read to you a part of it because it's very interesting. And it picks up why I will not vote the Democratic ticket. I'm opposed to the Democratic Party, and I will tell you why. Every state that seceded from the United States was a Democratic state. Every ordinance of secession that was drawn by a Democrat. Every man that endeavored to tear the old flag from the heaven that it enriches was a Democrat. Every enemy this great republic has had for 20 years has been a Democrat. Every man that shot Union soldiers was a Democrat. Every man that starved Union soldiers and refused them in the extremity of death a crust was a Democrat. Every man that tried to destroy this nation was a Democrat. Every man that loved slavery better than liberty was a Democrat. The man that assassinated Abraham Lincoln was a Democrat. Every man that sympathized with the assassin, every man glad that the noblest president ever elected was assassinated was a Democrat. Every man that impaired the credit of the United States, every man that swore we would never pay the bonds, every man that swore we would never redeem the greenbacks was a Democrat. Every man that resisted the draft was a Democrat. Every man that wept over the corpse of slavery was a Democrat. Every man that cursed Lincoln because he issued the Proclamation of Emancipation, the grandest paper since the Declaration of Independence, every one of them was a Democrat. Every man that wanted an uprising in the North, that wanted to release the rebel prisoners, that they might burn down the homes of Union soldiers above the heads of their wives and children, while brave husbands, the heroic fathers, were in the front fighting for the honor of the old flag, every one of them was a Democrat. And it keeps on going through kind of the sordid history of the American Democratic Party, and it ends with a long list of things that the Republican Party has not done. So it's contrasting the two parties, what they believe in, and historically what policies they have supported. Because like this document is talking about, the Democrat Party was the one of secession, was the one of the Confederacy. They were the ones who were supporting slavery. And it picks up with the Republicans have done some noble things that will be remembered as long as there is history. But there are some things they did not do. And they say the Republican Party did not use an army to force slavery into Kansas. They did not fire upon Fort Sumter. They did not attempt secession. And it keeps on going. And what is really great is it picks up and it says the Republican Party did not oppose emancipation. They were not Ku Klux. They did not commit the butchery at Fort Pillow, and it continues. They did not massacre black men at Hamburg. They did not scourge and hang and shoot and murder men for opinion's sake. And it picks up and it asks this final question. Can the Democrat Party and all Democrats say as much? The people can trust a party that has not done these things, but they cannot trust a party that in whole or in part did do them. And so they're asking and saying, look, just look at the history of the Democrat Party, look at the policies they support, and you'll find that every time, especially during the period of the Civil War and Reconstruction and Jim Crow, all the way up even to the present day, the argument could be made that the Democrat Party is on the wrong side of the issue on race and slavery. They were the slave owners. They were the secessionists. They were the Confederates. They were the ones who pushed for Jim Crow policies in the South after the end of Reconstruction. And this is a document that does a really great job laying out the simple facts about the history of the Democrat Party.